Hello, welcome to another episode of Low Budget Shooting. Today I'm going to shoot, I wouldn't call this low budget shooting because I bought this gun in an auction and it's rare, and I paid like $2,000 for it. Anyways, it was made by a guy named Bob Immel. He started making guns in 1970 or so. And what he made is what everybody calls the American Sten. He actually wanted to buy Sten parts when he first started making these things back in the mid-70s, but something went on with the deal with Sten and he couldn't get all the parts that he wanted, so he ended up making pretty much everything on his own. What's interesting about it is one of the aspects of the Sten that he was getting was the trigger assemblies down at the bottom. And they had 36 parts. Well, when he couldn't use their assemblies, he made his own, and now it only has 3 parts. They stopped making these, I believe, in 2001. His company was out of Salem, Oregon, it says on here. And P.A.W.S stands for Police Automatic Weapon Systems. So, back before 1986, his idea was to make a Sten-type firearm for military, for the police agencies, and it never really sold very much. And I think he only made 500 automatic versions that were in 9mm, and some were in 45 caliber. This particular one's in a 9mm. What's interesting about it is it's got a kind of a neat folding stock sort of situation here, and then this is actually kind of weird, but you got to push this thing down and then it locks in place theoretically. Well, there we go, and then it becomes a carbine. Well, it's always been a carbine. This gun right here went up for auction in Kansas, and what's very interesting on it is it has this little leather piece on it that wasn't put on the gun from the factory. And it says on the side of it, Fred Walker Hoy, USA. And so I went on the internet to see if I could find out who this Fred Walker Hoy was who owned the gun. And I found an obituary that was from 2009. And I'm guessing that this is his firearm because when I read this it'll probably make sense, but it says Fred Walter Hoy, 75 years old, of Lebanon, died Sunday. He was born in Long Beach, California, to Fred and Laura Hoy. He served in the United States Army and is a veteran of the Korean War. Fred worked 20 years as a range master for the California Hawthorne Police Department, where he retired. He moved to Lebanon in 1996 to be near his mother and cousin Leonard H. Williamson. He was a lifetime member of the National Rifle Association and member of the Albany Rifle and Pistol Club. While in his 50s, he won the Soldier of Fortune 3-gun match in Arizona. His shooting friends called him Mr. A-Zone. He was an avid cook, and his whole life, he was an avid cook his whole life and was known for his wonderful food. And he was survived by some of his family members. And one of his friends, who was a close friend, Leonard Williamson of Salem, I found out that Leonard Williamson is an attorney. I wrote to him an email to see if I could get some information from him, maybe about his friend that I was going to show this gun on my YouTube channel, but he never responded. The early versions of this gun were done with a wrinkle finish on it, but because Bob Immel wasn't making that many of them, the paint that he was using originally for the wrinkle finish was actually going bad, so he ended up doing like a molly coat on it, and instead it uses Sten magazines. I can tell you I loaded this one, so I'm not going to put it in the gun, but until we're outside shooting. I got 24 rounds in this, and man, these things are a pain in the neck to load. I think it might take more, but I can only push it so far down in here. I'm used to using 9mm carbines for competition, and I like, you got to do a speed magazine change. I don't really know how you do it on this gun because there's a button on here that you got to push down, and then supposedly the magazine comes out, and then you slide the other one in. This is also a closed bolt set up on here. So anyways, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to take it out to the range and I'm going to shoot some steel with it and see how accurate it is. Maybe I can shoot a bottle or two and we'll go from there. Alright, see if I can get a close-up of the Fred Walker on there. So hopefully I make him proud here. I'm going to take a couple shots at some paper here and see what it looks like. Because I have no clue where this is going to go. Okay, that was a terrible shot. That trigger is way long, and you know what? That was really loud. Thank God that wasn't my 500 Magnum. Okay. Safety first. Try this one more time here. God. Okay, so the safety's kind of weird. That isn't a one thumb deal. Alright. I believe that is shooting way high. So let's see where we go with the steel. Wow, that's pretty good. My glasses are fogging up. Oh, I knocked one of the steels off. Alright, we're just going to get rid of some rounds here on this steel. That's it. That is actually a pretty cool gun. It shoots, you got to shoot about 6 inches below the plates. So anyways, there you go, the P.A.W.S. This is a model ZX-6. There's probably less than 1,000 of these things in existence. Let's make sure it's empty. Yep. And hope you enjoyed this little episode of low budget shooting. Come back next time when I come up with something else to shoot. And be safe.